Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello. No voice? What do you mean no voice? Can you not hear my voice? Yes. I think now you can hear my voice. Yes. Am I right? You see me. Sulene, can you hear my voice? Okay, we have some question already for Mr. Arunas Bizokas. He's gonna come in now. We have already few people attending. It's fine, eh? Okay, so I didn't want to speak too early. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I think we should stand up. We should stand up, and I'm not in shorts. Normally people do that live. We should stand up and welcome Mr. Arunas Bizokas. Hello, Arunas. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. Your video is blocked, maybe. I'm not sure at the moment.
Yeah, I see. Black screen.
Oh, let me see.
Hi.
Let me
Hold
see
on.
again.
I can see you, but it freezes a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's something at my end or you can adjust me.
The voice is very good, but your video is not good. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can hear you well too, but the view is frozen actually at my end, so I'm not sure why. Hold on.
Okay, let me see again. Yeah. Can you see it? No, it's blocked.
No, I can see myself in the corner, but that doesn't show on the main screen, does it?
No, I see your you are there, but it's just frozen. Okay, we hear your voice. Maybe we'll fix it.
Okay, maybe we'll get better as we go along. Yeah.
maybe we'll be better as we go along. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say that I gonna count. Let's see. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Oh, did I count wrong? I did a mistake in writing how many world champion you won, how many titles. I'm sorry about that, but
that's
I had to.
That's okay. You added one. Well, and you mentioned that it's in Wikipedia, and I looked at it, and yeah, they added additional year 2019 when we actually retired in 2019 in Blackpool. So we were not participating in the World Championship. So that's something that will need to be adjusted with Wikipedia later on.
Well, I guess they wrote it before you won it. Okay, they didn't know you're retiring. They didn't know you're retiring, so they assumed you're gonna win it.
Well, maybe you know how Wikipedia works, so people can contribute and they can write, and others can verify. I think you can't write about yourself. At least I think people are discouraged, so someone else has to do that. So yeah, I'm not sure how to correct that. I guess someone has to write to Wikipedia and correct that.
I don't know. I'm gonna remove you and put you back on again, see if your video worked.
I see myself frozen on video.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so we're gonna start asking you again. So thank you very much for attending this interview. We got some good questions that I want to ask. And the first question, what is it? It's gonna be how do you say? It's gonna be running underneath. If you have the possibility to go back in time, and sorry, if you have, because how did I write? Back in time with, okay, let me read it from my note. I wrote a late. Okay, so if you have a possibility to go back in time and dance with some great dancer lady, who it will be and why?
Well, I was very fortunate to have been able to dance with many great ladies. Champions going as far as Bobby Irvin, who was a great dancer, and during the lessons it was a pleasure, well, an honor, and I felt that I was very lucky to be able to have lessons with her. And then later on, so I danced with I think so many great lady dancers, champions, world champions, including Karen Hilton, and Lewis, and so on. And it's one lady that I heard a lot that she was a great dancer, and I never got the chance to dance, was Brenda Winslade, who unfortunately passed away early. And so I think I would like to have been able to try to dance with Brenda Winslade and to see what people say. According to many, that she was a very powerful dancer and that you could dance your best with her. So that would be my wish.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. Brenda Winsley. Yeah, I never had it. I never had the I'm a little bit older than you, but I never took a lesson with her, so it was before our time. I heard so many great things too.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard also from quite a few people.
You see, Domen say here, let's hope the Arunas won't dance the 11th words.
Yeah, well, you see, yeah. It's so interesting, you look back, it doesn't feel that long, because time flies so fast. And I never thought that I would have such a long career, and obviously I never expected to have such a successful career. So yeah, I was really lucky, and of course it turned out so well for me.
Cool. Okay, so now I have this question that I want to ask. Which part of the competition is the most difficult for you? What was the most difficult? Which part? The beginning, the end, the preparation, the final. Now I can see you. Now you look like you're moving. You're moving, Arunas.
Finally.
Fine.
Hold on. How come I can't see myself? Hold on. Let me. Strange. But you can see me, can't you?
No, now you frozen again. Maybe I don't know. Do you have other connection? Maybe if you go Facebook.
Maybe I can switch to my phone. Maybe that will be better. Maybe my notebook.
Try. Yeah. We wait for you.
Let me try to go on the phone. Let's see if it's
meanwhile we're waiting for Arunas to see if you have Facebook open, close it maybe, because that can cause some problem too.
But okay, so I'll close. Oh, hold on. If I close Facebook, maybe that's better. Let me see.
Let's try.
No, not.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for Arunas to come back, I'm going to ask you to write question if you have any. I'm thinking about who to interview. I had some good idea. I will let you know soon. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so if you have question, just post it here. We're gonna ask. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask this later to Arunas when he's coming back. What? Why they don't stop, this thing. Let me change it. Like that. Why should I look at you while watching a dance competition? That's a good question. Somebody, a champion like that should have a clear idea. Oh, he's back. Look like you're moving now. Look at this. Perfetto.
Okay, which way is it better? Maybe this way.
So yeah, we can see.
Good.
So good. So now, Arunas, I'm going to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I look at you while watching a dance competition? Of course, you're the champion, but why do you think people should be looking at you, or why they should have looked at you?
Ooh, I think when you dance well, they can't have another choice but look at you. That's what I noticed when I was quite young. When I was watching competitions, I didn't know why I was looking at people at that time, but quite often I would notice that from the very first round I would notice and follow those who end up placing very high, and that's what that was interesting to me, because I thought, okay, what makes me watch them? And that's combination of things. And later on, of course, you realize, so it's to do with the presence on the floor, the energy, presentation, awareness of the space, the charisma, all these things come into play. And then people that have right combination, they just attract attention. And interestingly, even to those who may not have so much knowledge, they tend to choose certain people who they notice more than the others. So yeah, I think that's for everyone to figure out what makes you stand out and be noticed and capture the attention.
We have a question here. Dancing fashionista. Is Aruna single? Asking for a friend. For a friend.
Yeah. I'm.
Sometime when they ask me, "Are you single?" I say, "Tonight, yes. Tonight, yes."
Yeah.
So
yes, I am single. I'm available. Yeah.
That's it. Come and get me. Okay, here's a question from Tracy James. Hi, what is the most important thing a ballroom dancer must do? I had the same kind of question as well, but I just put Tracy there because it's nice to.
Well, to summarize, I think it's because it's so many aspects that goes into getting there. But I think the desire to do it and to achieve what you want and be persistent, that's what you have to have. And I think that's no different to anything where you try to accomplish something. It's rarely that you just have to have one particular element, let's say, in that area that makes you successful. If you have other people trying to do same thing and trying to get successful, and it's competitive, so then of course you have to have certain edge, and it doesn't just appear from nowhere. It usually connects to your hard work, your persistence, and that allows you to achieve what you want.
Okay, let me ask you, do you find anything about this quarantine positive?
Well, I think I'll tell how I actually felt. So first, it was kind of paralyzing. You could easily fall into thinking that this is time that is lost, and you're thinking life is going by and I'm not living it as fully. But then you get to ask yourself what is life and what makes it more valuable. And it's not just that lifestyle that you get used to most of the time when you were without quarantine, and then you actually realize so many things that you can do, that it would be still productive and still interesting, and you can learn so many things. And actually I find that it's giving us opportunity now. Latest couple of weeks now, we look, months going by, in quarantine actually. So I found it's been very productive in the sense that I watched so many programs that I never had time to, and I thought it was very useful. I learned so much about the things that I didn't know so much about the history. I watched documentaries that I enjoy greatly. I read stuff about history that also I found inspiring, and also when it comes to all the other things that you sometimes don't have time to, you have time now, and I think maybe my personal situation is slightly different. I realized that people that were at the most intense period of their careers, competitive careers, they may think that the time is flying and they could be competing and they're accomplishing the results that they wanted to accomplish, and so on. And yet, I think it's still possible to be productive in a way that you can plan for the future. You can think what could make you better. You can learn so much. I think watching past videos, studying, reading. You can look into many different things. If you study psychology, competing, and so on and so on. So I think you have to take it as an opportunity.
Basically, dedicate more time to yourself and use the best. Our time. Use the most valuable part. The most valuable thing that we have.
Exactly. Use it productively.
Okay. What is the best piece of advice you ever received?
It wasn't directed, but I think that kind of shaped my career a bit. I was reading a book. Maybe you read it as well. Bill and Bobby, The Dancing Years. And one thing that kind of struck me when there was one line where he wrote that he kind of found himself thinking that someone would become a champion. It was before he was a champion. So the thought was, why should it not be him? And I thought that what a wonderful thought. If someone is going to win, so that's inevitable. If you have competition, that's the system. So why can't it be you? And I think that shaped a lot my approach to what I did later on. So I wasn't coming from the position that it's impossible. Someone can do it. So why that someone can't be me? So that was kind of that was advice from Bill in the book, I think, for everyone. And for me, that was something that I think influenced me a lot.
Good. Question. Funny question. Are you a lazy or an active person?
It's in stages. Sometimes I feel like, I don't want to do anything and I'm being lazy. And there are periods when I'm overly active and can't be in one place and I have to do everything at the same time and too many things at the time. So I think it switches. I go through periods of laziness as well, which I guess coincides with the time when I need to get some rest.
Okay. I have a question here from an Italian lady, Elena. What are the 3 biggest priority for you that a champion or couple must have?
3 things for a couple. So number 1 for the couple is teamwork. That's number 1, in my opinion. If you can manage to work with your partner constructively, because a lot of time is wasted and then it becomes more difficult when you can't find constructive way. So my own career, I think, turned out very well because of the constructive work. Second, I think, is planning. So you have to plan what you want to do, and that involves everything. So lessons, training, practicing, competitions. So I would say second ingredient is planning. And the third one is luck. Just hope you lucky, because a little bit of luck is good.
Okay. What is your best memory? If you come to your mind quickly. I know you have so many great memory, but it's difficult to.
I would say first United Kingdom Championships, when Katusha and I came to our first major championships at the beginning of our partnership. when we didn't know what to expect. There was no previous results for our couple. It was all they knew. And it was special because on that particular day, the dancing felt wonderful. And it's very strange because I remember walking, when you walk down the hill, I was staying up the hill in the hotel. And I don't know, I found myself thinking that it's just, for some reason, I felt very good. And I felt, okay, this is it. That's what I want to do. We've been working so hard and I just want to enjoy it. So that was the thought process. And the competition was probably one of the most enjoyable I ever danced. And also the result was something that I don't think we could ever expect. I don't think anyone else expected that it could happen. Could happen on the night when we were placed second on that occasion of our first competition, major competition. So yeah, I think that would be my fondest memory from the competitions.
Okay, so now I know you just said it to everybody that you're single, but let's assume that you are engaged.
Yeah.
How do you feel about sharing your password with your partner?
Password?
Yeah, maybe for your Facebook, for your telephone.
Sam, I was thinking, how much privacy does one have and needs to have? And if you're committed to someone, you can choose if you want to share everything or you want to keep some space on privacy. So
But we're asking you.
Yeah, I would want to have no secrets. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's what I would want to have.
Okay, another question. Are you good in any other sport? If we can categorize dancing as a sport, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that debate?
No, not anymore. I tried many sports. I did a little bit of basketball, a little bit of swimming, a little bit of track and field, and I was also in the University of Sports where I had to try all the sports, like skiing and shooting and badminton and tennis and everything. So I liked sports, but when you try everything, it's not like you specialize in any of them. And latest, I haven't been doing anything too actively. It's just keeping in good shape in a sense with exercises, a little bit of jogging and so on. So I wouldn't be good at any sport now.
Okay, I ask one more question, then I have a little game. As a child, what did you wish to become when you grew up? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember when I was very little. I don't think I had ambition of becoming some particular profession. I mean, it's I can't recall that.
Okay.
I only know that when I was preparing to graduate, when I was graduating school and preparing to enter university, that's when I was preparing to enter University of Technology and study architecture. But and I was 18 at the time. But in the World Championships in youth and then Blackpool under 21, I was second in Blackpool, third in Youth World Championships. I decided to be a dancer. So that's what changed. But I don't remember child. I don't think actually I wanted to be of any profession. I was enjoying my childhood without
That's good.
about anything.
So let's have this game now, and we're gonna use your name, and for every letter of your name, you're gonna tell me something. So A stand for?
A will stand for ambitious. So I think I actually not in the childhood, as you can recall, but later on I became ambitious and wanted to achieve something in the area that I was specializing. So in dancing, let's say, I was very ambitious. I wanted to achieve whatever was possible there.
And R stand for?
R stands for results. Now, not even in dancing, but it's generally an approach in life. So I view it, if you do something, so it better produce the results. If you do something, you're keeping active, but it's not producing any results, so it's wasteful. So, and in dancing, I would give advice to people. So when I mean results, so you of course don't have to think just about the results. So being productive means, you work hard, you produce better performance. So that would be a result of your hard work, which in turn, of course, if you compete in the competition, would provide better result for you. So R would be for results for me.
Okay. U for?
U for unique. So don't forget that we are unique, each one of us, and we have to show that in what we're doing. So, following someone else's example is good, but finding your own unique way and being unique, I think, is important.
Okay. N for?
N is never give up. So that's something that I think I followed. There were times when I was thinking, okay, I'm not really getting where I want to get in my dancing as well. Actually, when I was an amateur for a long time, I felt like I was failing because I wanted to win. I wasn't winning. In fact, for a long time, I couldn't make the final. I think I was stuck in the semi-final for 3 or 4 years. So there were thoughts of quitting or changing the career, and I didn't give up. So that's the thing, never give up.
Good. I like that. A for? One more A.
Yeah, one more A. Actually, there are many things with A. So like I said, ambitious could be the same aspiring. And in this case, I would say adventurous. Adventurous that you have to take risks sometimes. And I did in my life, opening a studio in Canada when I was rather young. I didn't know what I was doing. It was risky. And I did it and actually worked out okay. Now, of course, we're all facing difficulties with the dance studios, but hopefully it will turn out okay. We have to accept what it is. So adventurous, that would be another A.
And the last one, S stand for?
S is success. Success.
Sex, you mean? No, well, sex.
For me, they both stand together, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Success and sex.
They feel a little bit different, just at time, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, if you have success, you can have sex as well, I think.
That's a good one. Okay, so now, a light question. What is your favorite dance?
Oh yeah, I used to get that question quite often, when dancing interviews, and I used to feel different quite often. Sometimes I would feel like I feel closer to waltz, sometimes to foxtrot, sometimes to quick step, sometimes to tango. So all of them basically changed. And it's interesting. Sometimes I would start feeling warmer to, like, I liked all of them, but kind of, you feel like one dance is particularly close because you work more. In some cases, it was working the other way around when I was concentrating on one dance less than the others. That dance for some reasons would come out feeling better on certain occasions. So I think it was connected to what you work on and how it comes out. So for me, it's not one dance all the time. It was changing.
Okay. All right. Just a moment, because now I'm getting confused here with this. Okay, here we go. Let me find it. Well, I'm going to ask you that. Do you feel you are a leader or a follower? Your personality, in your field.
Both. More, and I think I would like to think of the leader, but I don't mind following good leadership, meaning that if someone is providing good leadership, I wouldn't mind following. Quite often, the problem is that you don't see the leadership that you would want to follow around, and that that actually, I think that's why sometimes you have to take that action and try to be a leader when you don't feel that anyone is providing the leadership that you would want to follow.
Yeah, and I ask you this question because I want you to clarify my mind. I saw this WDO was grown up is I'm just thinking, can we change names? Can we use CFM or that's something different? Because it's always WDSF, WDO, WDC, WDD, WD.
Well,
okay, but never mind. This is only my opinion. Okay, you can call it the Augusto Schiavo organization.
I think in some ways fair enough. If you are creating an organization, you can call it whatever you want to call it.
The global dancing.
Yeah, it could be
Doesn't
global
matter.
instead of world. comes from the word world.
Yeah.
So it kind of.
But can you tell me? Can you tell us what is it?
WDO stands for World Dance Organizers. So WD, so WDSF, it's World Dance Sport, and then WDC, World Dance Council. So these combinations of world and dance so gives W and D, which of course makes it similar to one another. You remember at the same time, international was the word that was used. It was IDSF, International Dance Sport Federation. It was International Council for Ballroom Dancing.
Yes.
But then all of these organizations decided that the world is better word for organizations than just international, because it just wasn't big enough, because international could be 2 countries. World means that you have worldwide presence. So we can choose U for universal. You can.
No, I'm just. Can you just give me an idea what it is? Because I read a little bit. Obviously, I didn't follow much.
I think so. We have.
But it's actually fair that you because you are involved in this. Is fair that you actually. I guess you put time and work into this after you put time and work in your dancing. I hope you are as successful as your dancing career. I wish you all that. But just give us an idea what it is.
Thank you. I hope so too. I hope that we are successful with WDO. So I will give you the background how everything started. And of course, you know a lot anyway, but maybe some other listeners not so aware. So if we take history, so for a long time we had one organization, WDSF, IDSF at the time for amateurs. Then we had WDC, World Dance and Dance Sport Council, but basically that was for professionals. So then the world was changing, and we got split in the dancing world, where WDSF went their way, and then Amateur League was formed. Now, for a long time, many people didn't know what Amateur League was, and they thought it was a part of WDC Amateur League. As it turned out that it wasn't. It was different entity and a private entity, and only a few individuals were in charge of it. And we got a lot of competitors saying that they didn't feel that World Championships were special enough when there were so many World Championships in one place. In some cases, they said there was no even trophy. There was a medal that didn't have anything on it in terms that it was written what kind of World Championships it was, and so on. So many competitors felt it was lacking the importance in that way. Also, we had then examples that some dance couples would win major championships like Blackpool International or UK, some other major championships around the world, but they wouldn't go to the World Championships, wouldn't go to WDSF because maybe they didn't feel it was the system that they could follow anymore, but also didn't choose to go to Amateur League World Championships because they didn't think that that was providing the World Championships that they would want to participate. So looking at all of that, it was kind of apparent that there is probably need for quite a lot of competitors for alternative. And also, I think it was clear that the leaders of both WDSF and also WDC, and if you take the WDC leaders made it their business, they were not willing to listen to those who were raising concerns. And I was a part of the Competitors Commission, in fact, chairman of the Competitors Commission when we raised concern about amateur league. So what we got eventually was not that our concerns were addressed, but actually we got their effort to dissolve our Competitors Commission. Going around the world, I had opportunities to speak to Freedom to Dance organizers, the Imperial and Universal Championships in England, Michael Stylianos and Lorna Lee, Asian dance organizers, the Asian Dance Tour and their organizers, and you could sense that there is this kind of aggravation that the things are not the way they could be, that we could do much better than the current situation, and yet we didn't feel that it was possible to change because people that could make changes, they were not interested. They had their own interest. And so at beginning of 2019, I remember we were at the Asian Open in Tokyo, and Isao Nakagawa was kind to invite myself and also Nino Romano, who was there to attend Asian Dance Organizers meeting. And at that meeting, they started to discuss current situation in the world. And it was Lin Bing who actually mentioned that she registered entity in UK called World Dance Organizers because, following the success of the Asian dance organizers, the tour and so on, that something could be reproduced on the world level. But those talks didn't lead anywhere until April, when I was at the Toronto Open Dance Championships. Maurizio was there, one of the organizers, then Nino Romano, and they said, well, they would want to do something. So after that, I called Amanda, because previously I spoke to the Freedom to Dance. I called Lorna Lee, I called Hanson, and I said, let's make announcement that we want to go with World Dance Organizers, assembly of those who organize competitive dance events, announce that we're going to run World Championships for amateur in a better way, with greater importance, and try to bring greater prestige and respect, and provide opportunity for those amateur competitors who didn't have that. There was a good opportunity for them to be able to win, participate in the World Championships. And then I spoke to Richard. Also, he said he would want to be advisor, and I spoke to Timothy Howson to be coordinator of the general meeting, because I said I wasn't so fluent in English, and he could coordinate things. So that's how the founding committee was born, basically, with people that I had. And then we made the announcement that we're creating this organization. We put it forward, and immediately within a few days, we got a request to become members and applications for World Championships. So from USA, Renata Schwartz applied and became member. Then Michael Malitovsky and Piotr Lewandowski with the Warsaw International Championships, they applied for juvenile championships and became members. James Proughton with Britannia titles applied for World Championships and became members. So Alan Wen from China and his TFA organization applied for championships and became member, China Art Association. So basically, going to the Blackpool in 2019, we already had a lot of interest. People became members. But the meeting at the time, we thought, okay, it's kind of, just the beginning. So it was open for everyone. We made it inaugural meeting. And when I spoke to the organizers asking for the room, I said, well, we can expect probably about 30 people, because, looking into how many of us were founders, applying for championships, new members. So I thought that would probably be maximum. But then when I was during the festival, so many people came to me and spoke, and then I realized that it's going to be many more people. So I had to contact the organizers and ask for the bigger room. So I think we ended up having over 150 people, and so many. I was very pleasantly surprised. All these respected, very well-known people. They came there, they spoke, they asked questions, they made suggestions, and many of them later on became advisors of the WDO. So basically, that's what we have now. So WDO, and what we said in the first place, that it would be a non-profit organization. So we registered a non-profit organization. It's community interest company, and it has so-called asset lock. So no funds can be taken out for anything else but dancing. So it has to go to the dancing community. We draw the competition rules, and we ran very successful world championships. I think if we take the level of the couples that dance in these championships and the amount of the couples, so it just showed that there was a need from the competitors, because there was I think opinions, especially for those interested parties that didn't want it to happen, and they were spreading opinions that competitors don't need it, and actually false informations that Compares Commission voted in whatever year against the multiple world championships. So I didn't even bother to comment on any of that, because it was clear if we run championships and if couples participate, it would be a proof that there is enough desire to participate in, and there is demand, and that competitors want it. And I think we achieved what we wanted to achieve. We brought more prestige, I think, and then importance to those particular events. Because if you take what makes it special as a world champion, you've won world championships, and I won, and we know that most important. It is
my wish
for yourself.
Yeah,
basically,
of course,
that's what it is.
But my wish, really, every time that I see a new, and I understand the concept behind it, but every time I see a new split or a new, I think it dilute the power of our small world of dance. I'm not saying that this is the wrong step that is being taken. I understand, and I am aware of what you just said and the problem behind it. So I'm aware. But when my hope, when the muscle are very strong and you get a lot of people, well, you already have a lot of people, a lot of followers. It would be nice to sit down the table and make this back. I think that would be the biggest achievement that anybody can actually reach these days. To really sit at the table and put everybody, like in the parliament. We can be different opinion, but we sit in the same place and we have one parliament. I think for dancers, and sometimes in order to achieve that, you have to show the muscle, obviously, and I can understand. I do hope that from everybody. I'm not just talking to you. WDSF and WDC would be cool. As a dancer, as a judge, as a professional, if you can breathe some, we belong to the same place, like it used to be, obviously.
Well, I think in some ways that's something that no one would be against. If there was a possibility to find harmony and peace, that would lead to prosperity, greater prosperity. Now, but you probably remember also that the leaders, the board of directors of the World Dance Council, chose to threaten competitors legally. They sent legal letters. So obviously that doesn't show reasonable approach. Very aggressive, and I think that was additional thing that proved to everyone that it was impossible to speak to them, and it doesn't seem like they changed their ways. So so that takes more than one party. I think every party has to become reasonable and understand that it's very little you can achieve by threatening.
No, nothing. Basically, nothing. Actually, you can achieve the opposite. Obviously,
aggressive actions.
Sure.
And then also, if you take, I wouldn't think that it's exactly like that when it comes to additional title. That it's diluting for the existing titles, because for a while we have many different titles. So we don't only have WDSF and Amateur League. Before WDO appeared, we also had IDSA. There were
IDO.
IDSU, I think. So there were like 4 or 5 different organizations.
Yes.
So then the question is, so what, and as we mentioned, so most important is for yourself, basically, the title that you win. And you take competitors, and we can actually take specific examples. So Ferdinando Iannacone and Yulia Musikina. So who won Blackpool a couple of times, I think 3 times, UK International. But they didn't think there was any point for them to try to go to WDSF or Amateur League. So they didn't think there was any chance for them there. They didn't think it would be providing fair ground for them to participate.
True.
So when you take this, so basically, while we could be sitting and maybe trying to talk to people who don't want to talk to you, who threaten you, and
no, I'm saying when the muscles are very strong, then you can actually show the muscle and say, hey guys.
So what we did, I think, was right. So and then you take these couples who participate in WO World Championships. So they were judged by the panel, which was selected according to the system that's transparent and actually published in advance how they would be selected.
Well, WDC have that system, but they don't follow it as well.
Well, sometimes. WDC is okay. We're not always following that well, but still, I think you can call it a democratic structure with its flaws. Amateur League has none of that. So Amateur League, so some person from these organizers that made it private enterprise for them, registering all the amateur competitors and running world championships. So they choose whoever they want on the day or just before the championships. We had complaints from competitors who said they danced world championships there. It was Latin. It was 5 adjudicators from USA, and then most of them, or few of them, they didn't think were qualified to judge Latin because they were ballroom. So that, of course, we can discuss and so on. But that's obviously not the system that inspires many competitors to be there. The other thing, so if you take, it's conditions. So our world championships, major world championships for amateurs in ballroom and Latin. So we had good orchestras. So for Latin, it was Ashley Frolic, and in Shanghai, it was Nuevo Band from Korea. Prize money was much bigger than any other world championships, than WDSF or Amateur League. Also, presence of people that were in the ballroom of the night. So if you take Latin World Championships in England, organized by Lorna Lee and Michael Stilianos, and they invited so many well-known, recognizable, with a great reputation people, and for competitors to dance and present. So these people with great music, good prize money, I think that was making it special. So I think, if you take the experience and, prize presentation with honor dance, with the trophy, with medals, and all that, for instance, Amateur League didn't bother to do until WDO came around. So basically that improved.
Competition is always good.
So I think if you take the experience for competitors, opportunities, so WDO brought more opportunities. I think raised the level of the competitors. If you take Amateur League as a competitor to WDO, and that is working in favor of the competitors. So it's I would say, and I can look at the view from what you said, that if it's just one world championships and you are the champion, you were in that position, I was in that position. Yes. So it's somewhat making it more special. That there's no one else who could call themselves world champion.
No, it's not basically.
But think of that. So for instance, I was world champion when the IDSA at the time ran world championships. Professionals. So I didn't participate, but they put good prize money, and I think in Latin, Malitovsky won, and ballroom, Andrea and Sarah won. That actually, I didn't feel like that was devaluing the title that I had in any way. So I was, choosing those world championships of WDC. They had history, and you could argue sometimes the way the system working out when it was coming to the adjudicators, and some organizers maybe were better than the others, but still, in general, it was good level championships with the prize money, and most of the time, good level of adjudicators, and considering the history. So for me, I was winning the title that I was wishing to win, and that was important for me. And when it was in Blackpool, in front of the audience, that was very knowledgeable. So of course that was making it more worthy and special. Because say it like this: if I decide just to call, we spoke about the names. We can call Augusto Schiavo World Championships, Arunas Bizokas Championship,
whatever.
and if people come and dance, they become our world champions. We can start registration. We say I have organization, everyone can register, and we have organization of one person, and that's okay. If people want to follow, and for instance, if you are providing prize money and everyone who would register, you would give scholarship much greater than anyone else would give, you would have a good following. And so would it be bad for the dancing world? No, I don't think it would be bad. I think it's bad when we have situation where we're all paralyzed. We're not happy with what it is, but we feel like we can't do anything, so we end up like being hostages of the situation. So and I think that's what we managed to change with the WDO. We're no longer hostages. We can do proactively something that we think is more beneficial for the dancing industry. Now this what you say, opportunity, if opportunity comes to speak to different sides, whether it's WDSF or WDC, because these organizations are going to change. It's inevitable. New people will come on board.
Of course.
And so if these current leaders, they can't change, who knows what the future holds. I think if amateur league was not a private enterprise, there would be less desire, or less. There would be no reason in some ways to try to put another organization, but because it became so messed up with the amateur leagues, so there was no other way. Now in the future, who knows if WDO merges with WDC? That's a possibility. Who knows where WDSF will go? Maybe we will go to harmonious dancing world when it's governed by one organization.
That would be nice for me, but I'm an idea.
Yeah, it's I don't say it's impossible. I don't think it's very likely in the near future.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But but it is. I think for people it is a hope. Let's say when people have a strong organization, if they get together, United Nations can actually do a lot. Instead of being divided. But I understand. So, well, thank you for letting us know this information. I'm a little bit more clear about this, and I'm gonna feel.
I hope it's maybe more clear now to many people where we are, what we are, and what we want to accomplish. I think it's for the better for the industry, and first, most important, competitors. Then, of course, it comes the adjudicators and organizers. And it brings, I think, a better environment, and I think actually what you're saying, I think it's probably enabling to look at things differently and maybe find some compromises.
Okay, so the most important question of the day: sex or no sex the night before the comp?
Actually,
or sex during the comp,
Yeah, that's I wouldn't advise that. It's it depends what kind, you see.
Don't be too specific now. We don't want to. No. Don't be too specific.
Yeah. I think. I would say in my case, I would say no.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So we're gonna close this interview. I just would like to say thank you, Arunas, for dedicating your time, and I hope that we will meet soon around a dancing floor. I hope that thing will resume, hopefully, as quickly as possible, and we all have a nice drink together. Thanks again for your idea. Thanks for being funny, reply to everybody. Let's see if we have one comment, but also trying to do something in order to help the dancing world. Okay, thank you, and congratulations again on your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. 11 tight. Oh no, 10. 10.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank
yes,
you.
I hope see you soon, see everyone soon. So everyone take care and be good.
Okay. Thank you, Arunas. All
Thank
the
you.
best. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.